Tonight on CTV News at 6, there's no place like Edmonton in February. Double digits on the unseasonably warm side.
It warmed up so much this season.
And that's when I realized, oh my God, what did I do?
Another embarrassed victim of the Grandparent scam.
They phoned again, and I said, oh, I'll go to the bank again. I went right to the police station.
And wearing your medical history in case of emergency.
My helmet and the medical data carrier went with me to the emergency room, and that information was there.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. It is unseasonably warm today. The fast melt making for sloppy roads and causing concern for the Silver Skate Festival, which begins tomorrow. As Jeremy Thompson reports, organizers with the festival and those running other winter activities say a little slush won't stop them.
Mike DeBurr and his son put the finishing touches on an igloo in Hawrelak Park. It's a bit warmer than usual as preparations for the 10-day Silver Skate Festival ramp up.
We got lots of snow here.
That's because they made it themselves to ensure snow sculptors have a proper canvas. Giant snow blocks were set up in the shade, now covered by tarps to keep cool. And the skating oval is closed to prevent damage.
It's going to be great Friday night, and the temperature will be perfect for ice. We just got to save the ice until then.
It's spring skiing in early February at Snow Valley. It, too, has plenty of snow in storage if the hill starts to get patchy.
With the snow pants, I'm not even putting pants on underneath. It's so hot. It warmed up so much this season.
Are you telling me it's snow pants and underwear?
That is actually what I'm wearing, yes.
Across the river, through the waterfall under the Rainbow Valley Bridge, it's a perfect winter day for a walk.
I brought seed for the birds and for the squirrels. They'll come within 10 minutes and you'll get flooded. They will literally fight for the food, so I'm hoping they'll be happier today now that it's warmer.
If nothing else, we at least know that this warm weather makes for nice, sticky snow, perfect for snowballs or even snowmen. Just be careful you don't enjoy it too much. Snowy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
I'll bring Josh in a little early tonight. He's back out in Keswick. Josh, before we get to why you're there, what a day that was.
Yeah, the morning low today, Jeff, was 9 degrees warmer than the average high for February 5th. It was 5 degrees this morning. The average high is -4. And you know what? Like, as we look through the next 5 to 10 days, there's really not much of a significant cool down. I mean, we get back closer to 0 for daytime highs Monday, Tuesday, but still well above average. Today, 11 degrees. Yesterday, we hit a record-setting 10. Today, that high of 11, a degree off the record high of 12 from 1886. It's 8 degrees downtown right now. Still a little warmer west of the city. Stony Plain at 9. And lots of sunshine through the first half of the day today, but there is a bit of cloud cover sliding in now, and you can see a bit of that on the CTV drone. That drone is powered by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. I don't think we'll see any precipitation tonight from the little bit of cloud cover that's going to roll in, but that cloud will continue to increase over the next couple of hours. We do have precipitation, though, in through northwestern Alberta. You've got some showers in Grand Prairie area, and it looks like that may actually change over to a little bit of freezing rain in parts of northern Alberta overnight tonight. So we'll take a closer look at that, talk about your temperatures for the next few days, and tell you more about the Mighty Millions Lottery and how you could win big, all later in the newscast.
Sounds great. Thanks, Josh. Hawrelak Park will reopen March 13th, 3 years to the day that it closed for renovations. The city says most of the popular park will be accessible, including a new playground, lakefront promenade, modernized pavilion, and updated washrooms. The new perimeter path and multi-use trails are fully paved. People can walk, bike, and snowshoe around the park. The city says cross-country skiing and skating will be available next season. Says there will be some active construction areas as it finishes work and landscaping. Prior to the renos, most of the infrastructure was original from Hawrelak's opening in 1967. A grand reopening celebration is scheduled for May the 30th. An Edmonton woman says she's out thousands of dollars after falling for a so-called grandparent scam. She reached out to CTV News after seeing a story we aired about another victim. Nerman Issa reports.
Right away, it's, hello, how are you? And it was my grandson's voice.
Jody, who CTV has agreed not to identify for safety reasons, says last week she got a call from who she thought was her 21-year-old grandson.
The mannerism, the voice, everything. Like, I was talking to my grandson.
Jody believes she's a victim of the grandparent scam. That's when someone calls pretending to be a grandchild or a family member, saying they're in some kind of trouble and need money.
Stated he'd been arrested and needed over $7,000 to pay bail money, and didn't want his parents to know, stating it wasn't his fault.
Jody says shortly after, she got a call from someone claiming to be a lawyer, offering to pick up the bail money. That same day, she withdrew $7,200.
We have a bond guy coming right to your door, and gave the money, and off he went. And that's when I realized, oh my God, what did I do? But then the next morning they phoned again, and I said, oh, I'll go to the bank again. I went right to the police station.
We tried calling the number that was contacting Jody with no luck.
The number you have reached is not in service.
Earlier this week, Parkland RCMP shared a photo of a grandparent scam suspect. RCMP say this type of fraud happens often.
To pay bail, you have to go to a courthouse and pay bail in person. There would never be a courier collecting those things.
Edmonton police say last year, 26 people filed a police report. However, EPS believes that number should be higher, as many do not come forward.
I think people have a certain amount of embarrassment and what have you, but really it's an important one to report.
Jody says she knows she won't be able to get that money back. She's using this to warn others.
It's almost like you freeze. You don't really think right. You know, you don't think straight. You just believe everything that you're hearing.
Anyone who believes they are a victim of a scam are encouraged to report it to police. Naramisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Canadian Bar Association says changes Alberta's premier wants to make to judge appointments would compromise judicial independence. In a letter to the Prime Minister, Danielle Smith demanded more input on the selection of federal judges. She wrote that the provincial government could hold back money for judges. The Canadian Bar Association speaks for 40,000 lawyers, judges, and legal professionals. In a letter to Smith, it says the proposal would compromise the appointment process. It says Smith's suggestion that courts don't reflect the values and expectations of Albertans underscores the political nature of her proposal. Federal Justice Minister Sean Fraser says he plans to maintain the current selection process. An Angus Reid survey found 45% of Albertans either have no family doctor or have trouble accessing one. One woman in Edmonton says she's been without a regular family doctor for years, and it could prevent her from accessing AISH benefits. Connor Hogg reports.
Leanne Grenier is one of the 31% of Albertans without easy access to a doctor.
I'm asking questions like, how long does it take to get in for an urgent appointment? How long does it take to make a standard appointment? I'd like to be able to see my doctor within a week of calling if I have an acute thing.
Grenier has chronic health problems. She's on AISH, and while she has a family doctor, finding one for the long term has been difficult due to physicians retiring, moving, or not getting the care she needs. Grenier says she's worried about whether seeing different doctors will mean she won't be able to demonstrate her disability.
I'm worried about in July when they kick us off to a DAP and we have to reprove ourselves that I won't have had my doctor long enough to validate those medical forms I'm going to need. A lot of doctors aren't comfortable signing off on those kind of forms unless they have a history with you.
The Ministry of Primary and Preventative Health Services says Alberta needs more family physicians, even though it's added a record number in the last year. Dr. Louis Francis Scuddy says more has to be done to encourage young doctors to enter family medicine as the number of aging Albertans increases.
The system that was designed for healthcare was designed at a time when Canadians were young. Our population has aged, including myself. We have to sit back and have a crucial conversation about the things that are not going so well.
The province says even with some doctors leaving the system, Alberta added more than 1,300 last year, nearly 800 more than in 2024. The ministry says it remains focused on recruiting. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province says anyone without a regular family physician can visit the Find a Doctor portal by visiting albertafindadoctor.ca. Teachers across Alberta are taking time away from teaching to learn for themselves. The first of 9 two-day teachers' conventions started today in Edmonton. It's for school boards surrounding Edmonton. The rest are being held across the province over the next 2 months. The conventions are for professional development and to give teachers a chance to connect. It comes after a tumultuous start to the school year. In October, tens of thousands of teachers walked off the job, then were ordered back to work by the Alberta government.
Huge impact. Average classroom teacher has definitely felt the highs and lows of what's been going on, whether it's curriculum, lack of resources, the strike for sure. So this midpoint sort of like chance to reset, I think, is really important for teachers.
The conventions are paid for through teachers' union fees. You'll be able to grab a drink while watching some of the medal rounds of the Olympic Games at a local watering hole. The Alberta Gaming, Liquor and Cannabis Commission has so far received notifications from 91 bars and restaurants that want to extend their serving hours. 53 of those applications are from the Edmonton area. The AGLC says bars and restaurants can apply up to 3 days before an event to extend liquor service hours. The latest attempt at the world's longest hockey game is set to start tonight in Sherwood Park. The game will see dozens of hockey players take the ice over 11 days. This year, it's scheduled to last a total 261 hours. Organizers say they're prepared for the warm weather, ensuring the ice is thick enough to handle some melt. It's all to raise money for the Alberta Cancer Foundation. Brent Sake started the record-breaking game more than 20 years ago after losing his dad to cancer. This year, money raised will go to CAR T-cell therapy, a type of immunotherapy that fights blood cancers.
It's been very expensive to do that treatment, about $500,000 a patient here. So unfortunately, not everybody gets the treatment. When this is done, which I know it'll happen when this is done, there's a lab waiting at the Cross. The equipment's waiting to go, everything's ready to go, and by August 26th, patients will be treated at the Cross.
Puck drop for the world's longest hockey game is at 9 o'clock tonight. The game will last until next Wednesday. And as promised, let's go back out to Keswick now, where Josh is making new friends, as always.
Yeah, we've got Brittany and the mighty Aubrey here with us. How are you, Aubrey?
Good.
Oh, good. Brittany, tell me a little bit about Aubrey's story. She was in the hospital for like a third of a year when she was born. Is that right?
Yeah, 134 days is how long we spent there. She was born when I was 24 weeks and 5 days pregnant. So she was 1 pound, 5 ounces.
You're a little bit bigger than 1 pound, 5 ounces now, aren't you?
Yeah. She had a bunch of infections, but the main one was called necrotizing enterocolitis, which is an intestinal disease which killed her bowel. They had to remove it to save her life. Right. She also went into cardiac arrest, which caused a brain injury, so she does have cerebral palsy. Mm-hmm. But besides all that, she is the feistiest, strongest little girl ever.
Yeah, you were saying she's doing great, and only when she's sick now for hospital visits?
Yeah, sick. She does have chronic lung disease and asthma, so we need to get some steroids or some oxygen for her. But other than that, we stay a little bit away.
What do you have to say to people who, maybe don't have a personal experience with Stollery, just about the level of care there?
The level of care is amazing. I've never experienced that before. I've never had to with a child. My other child was great, but I just wouldn't expect them to care so much. They treat you like they're your family, and you don't feel like you're alone in a really scary situation.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you think, Aubrey, that your eyes got really big? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you a hard question. Do you think people should buy tickets so they can win this house? Yes, I agree. MightyMillionsLottery.com is where you can go to buy tickets. You know what's even better, Aubrey, is if people buy tickets before midnight tomorrow, they could potentially win the Power Play and $75K VIP prize. Do you have any idea what that is?
No.
Should I tell you?
Yes.
Okay. It is 2 lower bowl season seats for the Oilers next year and $75,000 cash. Would you like to win that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think lots of people would like to win that. So midnight tomorrow is the deadline on that. Hey, there's another way for you to win as well, because it's a Stollery sleepover night, and I get to spend the night in this beautiful house tonight. Aubrey just said, what? If you text the word mighty to 10400 right now, you could win $1,000 just because. MightyMillionsLottery.com, though. Make sure you get your tickets before midnight tomorrow to be in on that VIP prize. Aubrey, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh, and thank you, Aubrey. The above seasonal temperatures may have you thinking about a road trip. The latest and greatest in RVs and outdoor adventuring are on display at the Edmonton Expo Centre. The 4-day event shows off new tech like integrated solar panels and lithium batteries. As well, there are hundreds of new RV models and floor plans.
Oh, there's a couple units here now that, yeah, you're walking up a spiral staircase inside to a king-size bed. There's a double-decker outside deck as well, so you got your patio on the main floor and then an upstairs patio. And some of these units even have their own washing machine and dryer inside.
Tickets are required to get in. You can pay at the door or pre-purchase online. The show runs until Sunday. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, no-tech life-saving devices.
My helmet and the medical data carrier went with me to the emergency room.
The Canadian Red Cross is teaming up with a Canadian company that makes medical information tags. Also ahead. Why players and fans are transforming this gym into a sea of pink.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
NAIT has come to a tentative agreement with academic staff. NAIT Academic Staff Association, or NASA, says the agreement comes after a long and challenging process. It says detailed information will be sent to members within the next couple of days. Ratification voting is scheduled for next week. Last month, a strike mandate vote was held with 83% of votes in favor of a strike. The two sides got back to the bargaining table this week. NAIT says reaching an agreement provides stability for the NAIT community. There is a tag that could help save your life in an emergency. The Canadian Red Cross is hoping more people will use a no-tech method to keep health information handy. Amanda Anderson explains.
So this particular helmet is a helmet that I crashed in.
This is the helmet Justin Napick was wearing when he crashed during a 2024 race in BC.
I was conscious when I was in the ambulance. I was able to answer questions, but I wasn't very coherent.
Despite that, Napick was able to provide emergency responders with his health information because of a tag attached to his helmet.
My helmet and the medical data carrier went with me to the emergency room, and that information was there.
Information, it could be allergies, your next of kin information, if you have a pet at home in case you're in an accident and somebody needs to let your pet out or grab your pet, all that information can be stored in here.
The Canadian Red Cross has partnered with a Canadian company that makes the medical information tags.
Proceeds from each sale goes directly back to the Canadian Red Cross to support the work that they do in Canada for Canadians.
The Edmonton Motorcycle Road Racing Association mandated use of the tags more than a decade ago, and as the lead instructor of a racing school, it's something Napick promotes to new riders.
It's such a phenomenal opportunity for us to increase that rider safety and the awareness.
The uses go far beyond motorcycles.
Skiing, it could be motorsports. Mom or dad could be going to work and have a hard hat and be at risk on the job site. But the other uses certainly dovetail back to vulnerable road users in general.
The 3M adhesive is also approved for hockey helmets. Napick, who is also a fire captain in Edmonton, has one attached to his fire helmet. He knows from personal and work experience how important having health information in a timely manner can be when seconds count.
The more we start to see people adopt this, the more we actually start to see the emergency service use it, and that's the hope, is that we start to see a little bit more widely spread.
The tags are available on the Red Cross website and through Amazon. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
1,800 Edmontonians are pushing mental health all month long. They'll be participating in a national push-up challenge. Each person will complete 2,000 push-ups starting today. That number is to honor and remember the roughly 2,000 people that die by suicide every year. Money raised is going to the Canadian Mental Health Association. The organization says the challenge is meant to put the struggles of mental health into perspective.
So for me, just thinking about getting down there and doing some push-ups is kind of reminds me of what many people have to deal with every day. And if they can kind of push towards their own wellness and recovery, I can do a few push-ups.
Edmontonians raised close to $100,000 last year. The push-up challenge ends February 27th. Basketball players from across the province are competing to support the Canadian Cancer Society. More than 400 junior high students are playing in the Centurion Classic Invitational Basketball Tournament at Riverbend School. Players and fans transformed the gym into a sea of pink. Since 2011, the tournament has raised more than $110,000. Organizers say this tournament forces kids to take a step back and focus on something bigger than themselves.
When you take highly passionate and motivated teachers and combine them with engaged students who are supported by involved parents and generous support from community businesses, you just get incredible school culture, incredible school engagement. It's awesome.
The tournament expects to raise more than $20,000 this year. Coming up, the Olympics are almost here.
The rivalry with the United States is one that's decades and decades old in sport, and yet I think there's a little bit more riding on it.
Canadian athletes, including NHL players, are arriving in Milan.
It was a warm one today as temperatures hit 11 degrees this afternoon. It'll stay warm, but I think we're done with double digits for a while. Your forecast from the Mighty Millions Lottery Grand Prize Show home right after the break.
Let's talk about rain and freezing rain. Two different types of precipitation. We've had a little bit of both over the last couple of days. Are they the same when they come out of the cloud? Yeah, they're all ice crystals when they come out of the cloud, whether it's snow or rain or freezing rain, everything's an ice crystal. And so if it's warm enough beneath the cloud, let's say it's maybe 5 degrees here and then 10 degrees down at the ground, then these ice crystals, they're gonna melt and that'll turn to rain. Now, if it's warm enough at the ground, that rain just hits the ground. And is the ground wet or is it frozen? Wet. It's just wet, right. If it's warm enough, it's just wet. But if this was minus 10 at the ground, then what happens to this rain when it hits the ground? That's right, it turns to ice. And so freezing rain and rain, they're the same thing, right? You walk outside and when it hits you, you're like, oh, it's wet. But rain stays wet on the ground and freezing rain turns to ice when it hits the ground. You guys knew that though, right? Yes, because you're all very smart.
Weather Watchers brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
There have already been setbacks for Team Canada at the soon-to-start Winter Olympics in Milan. Today's women's hockey game was postponed, and some events will go ahead without star athletes. CTV's Heather Butts is in Milan with 1 day to go until the opening ceremony.
An alarming image of Mark McMorris following a crash yesterday in training. The 32-year-old three-time Olympic medalist confirming he hit his head and will not compete in the big air competition. In a statement, McMorris said, "Fortunately, things are looking good for slopestyle, so I'm staying positive and shifting my focus there." Snowboarder Tess Critchlow has already had to withdraw due to injury, and Canada has had to swap out athletes in men's hockey and figure skating in the team event because of injury.
For those who've been injured and unable to compete, I feel for them first and foremost, and therefore give them as much support to see if they can compete in the case of those where it's questionable.
Facing these early obstacles, there's also questions over how the Olympic team is preparing to handle competing against the Americans at a time of heightened tensions between the countries.
The rivalry with the United States is one that's decades and decades old in sport, and yet I think there's a little bit more riding on it.
That rivalry most anticipated on the ice, where it will be a monumental year for hockey, marking the return of NHL players in the men's tournament for the first time since 2014. Combine that with the first winter game since the Professional Women's Hockey League launched, putting a spotlight on an extraordinary depth of international talent.
This is an immensely talented team, and they're in their final preparations. And very soon we will see them walking into opening ceremonies. to show the world just what Canadian excellence looks like.
While Team Canada battles injuries, Finland is dealing with illness. The two countries were supposed to face off today in women's hockey, but the game was postponed as the Finns battle the norovirus. Team Canada's first game will now be against Switzerland on Saturday. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
And one more time, back out to Keswick and Josh. I think I can confidently say that a lot of people could get used to this kind of February.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not that long ago that we started February with a similar warm spell. I mean, you only have to go back to 2023, which was, coincidentally, the last time that we were coming out of a La Nina, which is what we're coming out of this year. Now, if you look back at 2023, it did stay warm for the first half of February. We had some cold days at the end of February and even in early March. No real prolonged cold spells, though, so we'll see how that plays out. There's certainly no cold spells in the next 5 to 10 days, though, here in the Edmonton area. Just maybe not quite as warm as yesterday and today. 10 degrees yesterday, 11 for a daytime high today. We've slipped pretty quickly, though. We're at 3 degrees right now as you look through the River Valley Skycams, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed rider, it's free. 11, as we said, daytime high. 1 degree off a record. Look at Fort McMurray's at -3. It's -9 in Grand Prairie that you hit for a daytime high, and Jasper hit double digits at 12. Lethbridge up to 20 degrees this afternoon. Here's how much those temperatures have changed from 6 p.m. yesterday to 6 p.m. today. In Edmonton, we're about 2 degrees cooler than we were at 6 o'clock yesterday. Red Deer's actually up 2 degrees. Look at Fort McMurray, 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday afternoon. And pretty good coating of ice with all that freezing rain in Fort McMurray overnight last night and early this morning. There may be some more freezing rain to start the day tomorrow. Right now, you've got some precipitation in through the Peace Country. Grand Prairie's been dealing with some showers. Good news is that temperatures are still above zero there. As that moves off to the north and northeast, though, you run the risk from about high level southeast towards Fort McMurray for some freezing rain and then some snow. I don't think it's going to be heavy snow for Fort McMurray, but after putting a little bit of ice on sidewalks and roadways, you may coat that with 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. No snow expected in the Edmonton area or rain. We'll see mostly cloudy skies and maybe even some fog patches tomorrow morning. And then sunny breaks for tomorrow afternoon. You can see at 5 p.m. it's going to be pretty overcast off to the north and east of Edmonton, but sunny skies to the south and west, and we're kind of right between those two systems. So I don't think it's going to be completely overcast, but it's probably not the bright blue skies that we enjoyed for most of the day today. Temperatures right now at 3 degrees here in Edmonton and in Grand Prairie. It's still 6 in Red Deer, and Fort McMurray has slipped to -13 right now. Temperatures overnight tonight dropping to around the freezing mark by early tomorrow morning. I think prior to 8 a.m. we'll hit a low of -2. Fog patches potentially to start the day. Those will burn off pretty quickly, and then we'll get to a high of about 6, maybe 7 degrees for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anywhere really between about 5 and 8 for daytime highs through the next 3 days. There is a slight chance you might see a little sprinkle in parts of central Alberta early Saturday morning. A little better chance early Sunday morning in the Edmonton area. That's actually part of a system that is going to bring some snow and some freezing rain to the northern third of the province Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we'll have to keep an eye on that if you have travel plans through the weekend. Temperatures back a little closer to zero for Monday, Tuesday, although I think still just slightly above the freezing mark both those days. Again, the Power Play and 75K VIP prize deadline is midnight tomorrow. Go to MoneyMillionsLottery.com before midnight tomorrow, and you could win 2 lower bowl season seats for the Oilers next year and $75,000. And right now, if you text the word MIGHTY to 10400, you could win $1,000. All just because I get to spend the night in this house. And we're going to show you a little bit more. We'll take you on a tour of this house if you follow CTV Yeg Buzz on Instagram. So through this evening, we'll be posting some videos. There's your temperature trend over the next 10 days. Warmest in the next 10 will be the next 3 days. Stays above average, though, until sometime after Valentine's Day. Jeff?
All right. Thanks, Josh. Have fun. Still ahead, Toronto police officers arrested.
This news is both shocking and completely unacceptable. Corruption has no place in policing.
7 men and more than a dozen civilians facing charges that include conspiracy to commit murder and extortion. Also,
the freestyle approach, I don't think serves us as a country.
A Conservative MP leads his own solo trade mission to Washington, D.C. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by Century Casino, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Seven Toronto police officers are facing a slew of charges, including conspiracy to commit murder, extortion, and drug trafficking. The probe started after a plan to kill a corrections officer came to light. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Cars in front of them just wandering down the middle of the road. Cars coming up behind.
This is police video of just one incident.
Those are our vehicles. Let's take them down right now. Contain.
That highlights the devastating allegations filed against 7 Toronto police officers and 1 retired officer.
Over the grass into a car.
Investigators allege 3 masked men attempted to murder an Ontario corrections manager at his home in York Region in June. The suspects were allegedly leaked personal information by Toronto Police Constable Timothy Barnhart.
We allege that this officer then released the information to a Mr. Brian DaCosta, and from there it was released further into other criminal networks.
The allegations against the Toronto officers include bribery, obstruction of justice, drug trafficking, theft of personal property, breach of trust, and the unauthorized access of confidential information. The information was handed over to organized criminal figures. It led to shootings in the GTA and in southern Ontario. At least 1 shooting is connected to the gun violence plaguing the tow truck industry.
This news is both shocking and completely unacceptable. Corruption has no place in policing.
Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew calls it a painful moment for the force, and he has asked the Inspector General of Policing to investigate.
This is a painful and unsettling moment. It needs to be addressed openly, and it needs to be addressed honestly. The allegations against 7 Toronto police members and 1 retired member are deeply disappointing.
Clayton Campbell is the president of the Toronto Police Association.
If proven true, our members do not tolerate this sort of stuff. We are so indebted to the public for trust. If we don't have public trust, we have nothing.
The allegations also include officers accepting bribes to obstruct police action against illegal activity. At least 19 other civilians have been charged in connection with this investigation. Chief Demkew says he is committed to holding the accused officers accountable, and he says the Toronto Police Services Board has not asked for his resignation, considering these findings came under his leadership. More than 400 officers took part in these internal investigations that led to these charges, and police say this investigation is ongoing. John Musselman, CTV News in York Region.
The NHL's top prospect, Gavin McKenna, is facing felony assault charges in Pennsylvania. The 18-year-old forward plays for Penn State's men's hockey team. Police say McKenna was involved in an altercation Saturday night, allegedly assaulting a man, leaving him with a broken jaw. In a statement, Penn State says they are aware charges have been filed, but as this is an ongoing legal matter, they will not have any further comment. McKenna is projected to be the first overall pick in the 2026 NHL entry draft. If found guilty, McKenna could face more than a decade in prison. Questions are being asked today about who a Conservative MP chatted with in Washington on his solo mission to the U.S. Capitol and whether it was helpful in any way. Here's CTV's Michael Couture on the meetings and the message he returned with.
I got to tell you, I'm feeling hopeful and optimistic.
Conservative MP Jamil Javani following meetings he says he had with the White House, the State Department, and senators from northern border states. Now, it's unclear who Javani specifically met with or if he sat down with his longtime friend, Vice President J.D. Vance.
This can be the beginning of a truly nonpartisan approach to working with the United States. This is not a partisan issue. It's not about liberals or conservatives.
Even before that video was published, some liberals were questioning Javani's intentions in D.C., especially as U.S. tariffs affect the auto sector in his region.
I'm just looking at what he says and what are the facts. And until I actually said on television that he was not talking and denouncing the GM layoffs, he didn't talk about it. And now he's talking about it.
Still, Ontario's premier was supportive of Jovanni's efforts.
No matter if it's a governor, a senator, or congresspeople, or part of the administration, I think we have to continue on with the pressure. So the more people that can get down there and have a conversation, all the power to you.
This former advisor to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Canada-U.S. relations is concerned about how Jovanni's visit could affect the upcoming review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement.
We are in a very delicate time with the United States as we try to advance a clear, unified strategic message, and having someone go on their own with very little oversight, very little understanding of the core issues at hand will ultimately undermine Canada's position and relationships.
In the video, Jovanni said he joked with Americans that the U.S. could become the 11th province. But he said they didn't seem interested in the offer. Mike Lecuteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Still to come, a new auto strategy.
The future of the auto industry is increasingly electric and connected.
How the federal government plans to make it more affordable for Canadians to buy lower emission vehicles while also protecting jobs in Canada. Checking on today's market numbers, the Canadian dollar closed near 73 cents U.S. Oil was down $1.85, ending the day at $63.29 U.S. a barrel. Gold was down more than $61 at closing. The TSX and Dow Jones plunged, losing 576 points and 592 points, respectively. The federal government is ordering its public servants back into the office at least 4 days a week. The order applies to core public service departments. The government says separate agencies are strongly encouraged to take a similar approach. Starting May 4th, executives will have to be in the office 5 days a week, up from the current 4. July 6th is when other employees will be required on site for a minimum 4 days a week, up from 3. The Prime Minister has unveiled a new national auto strategy. It includes an end to the electric vehicle mandate, but the return of EV rebates. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more on the new roadmap.
A national auto strategy for the next generation. Today, the government unveiled a 5-pillar and multi-billion-dollar plan to protect jobs and reward companies making vehicles in Canada.
The future of the auto industry is increasingly electric and connected. And so to remain competitive and to realize our potential, we must develop the entire value chain for next generation vehicles.
To help Canadians afford them, starting February 16th, consumers who purchase electric vehicles will be eligible for a new rebate. The government is offering purchase or lease incentives of up to $5,000 for fully electric vehicles and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrid models. There will be no price cap on Canadian-made cars, and only models coming from countries Canada has a free trade deal with will qualify if they cost less than $50,000. That means the rebate won't apply to Chinese EVs.
Today's announcement will directly support workers here in Ontario and across Canada.
Carney is also replacing the contentious EV sales mandate with new emission standards for future models, easing some of the pressure automakers are under.
This puts us on a path to greater electrification while giving industry the flexibility it needs during a very difficult time for the economy and for the sector.
Hopefully we can get to a point where we continue to be tariff-free.
And car dealers say they're ready to stock up.
It's certainly encouraging that we'll be able to pass on some savings directly to the consumer, especially in a time of higher prices on really everything.
Beyond affordability, this country's lacking EV infrastructure remains a barrier to Canadians pulling the plug on gas-powered vehicles. And so today, Carney also promised $1.5 billion to build up this country's roadside charging network. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The greatest outdoor show on earth had a major impact on the Alberta economy last year. Analysis from MNP shows the Calgary Stampede generated $721 million across the province in 2025. That's a 33% increase from the last time a similar report was done in 2019. Across Canada last year, Stampede-related activity produced $872 million nationally. $664 million were generated in Calgary specifically, which includes more than $190 million in wages and salaries.
And proportionately, there were more outside of Calgary visitors coming here and spending money. That's money that came to Calgary that otherwise wouldn't be here as a result of hotel room rentals, restaurant tabs, Uber rides, things of that nature.
There were 1.47 million visitors through the Stampede gates in 2025. An Alberta nonprofit that helps newcomers settle says finding its clients work is taking longer than ever. The Immigrant Education Society held a job fair in Calgary today aimed at youth. The provincial unemployment rate of youth in Alberta is 14.5%, which is above the national average. The charity says it's even tough for racialized youth to find work.
Part of it is the economy, part of it there is a bit of an anti-immigrant sentiment, and part of it is with some employers not really understanding the value of what newcomers bring to the country and that they are actually experienced.
The Immigrant Education Society says it used to take clients up to 2 months to find work. Now it can take up to 6. Coming up, goaltending for Team Canada.
Like I said, really thankful for the opportunity and just excited to get over there.
An Alberta goalie is representing his hometown at the Olympics.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk. One of the Team Canada Olympic goaltenders is bringing a piece of Alberta with him to Milano Cortina. CTV's Glenn Campbell explains.
Logan Thompson grew up playing in the Blackfoot Minor Hockey Association. His story is one of never giving up. Despite a solid junior career with the Brandon Wheat Kings, Thompson was never drafted into the NHL. The 28-year-old, though, never gave up on his dream of being an NHL goaltender, despite having all the odds stacked against him.
You always, I think, need to have a little bit of that FU personality to if you want to keep climbing the ranks. But for now, I'm here. My biggest mindset's just want to stay in the league and be a top goalie and just help my team win every game.
Thompson's done plenty of winning with the Washington Capitals. In his 2 seasons as a starter for the Caps, he's 47, 27, and 10. He's one of the top goaltenders in the league, and Hockey Canada has noticed. Thompson's going to Italy to represent Canada at the Winter Olympics.
Getting that call was a dream come true. Like I said, really thankful for the opportunity and just excited to get over there.
Thompson will wear this mask at the Olympics, painted by local artist Dave Freed. He wanted to make sure it represented where he comes from.
What he asked for was he wanted a Calgary/Alberta vibe for his mask. So, still wants a very Canadian kind of leaf on there, but the background stuff, he definitely wanted the Calgary Tower in there. And I kind of asked him if he want to do that kind of that pond hockey scene in front and then the city and the mountains in the back.
The mask also comes with a grizzly bear in the mountains and a moose on the backplate. And that's not the only Olympic mask Freed has painted. He's also done one up for Darcy Kemper on the men's team and for Emmerance Mashmeyer and Kaylee Osborne on the women's team.
I got fortunate enough to get a big kind of swath of the Team Canada goalies this year, which is a huge honor and also a huge responsibility because I want to make sure these are representing our country and the goalies themselves.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
And that is our show for this evening. As always, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I'm Jeff Hastings. Good night.